Alrighty, YouTube. I'm going to entitle this little video, The Making of the Case. I know that there may be some of you who are curious as to how I was able to come up with the design for my rainbow signature collection here. And I wanted to give you some of how I figured it out and then what I did to create this 6-spot travel notebook holder. So it's for the inserts, okay? So let me tell you how I went about this. So this is some graph paper. Pull it out whenever I'm trying to be handy-dandy, crafty, and kind of architecturally minded. And this is what I did to figure out what was going on. First of all, I knew that the actual inserts that I created were 4 inches by 8 inches. And I knew that the covers on the outsides of the inserts, which made up the signature, were 4.5 inches by 8.25. So when I was coming up with this, I wanted to make sure I had enough space so that although you can see the colors in the inserts, I wanted it to be big enough around so that it would encase the actual inserts, okay? So what I came up with was I knew that if this was 4.5, if I went out another 1/2 inch to 5, then that would have space at the sides. So see how there's a 1/2 inch space at the sides. And I wanted there to be a little bit of space at the bottom and at the top so that these were floating and that the case would be surrounding it. So since I knew that the majority of these were 8.25, that if I went to 9, that should give me about a 1/2 inch above and a 1/2 inch, a little bit less than a 1/2 inch below. Okay, so are you with me there? So that's how I came up with basically each side had to be 5 inches wide by 9 inches tall. Okay, and then I had 6 inserts, and because of the embellishments on the front, like Fiery actually has a whole boho bead on it, I wanted to have more than a 1/2 inch space. So I decided I just would make it easy and just have 1 inch. And so what I did was I figured out that if I had a 7-inch space, then I could have holes at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That would put my holes on the inside, and then I'd actually have 1 inch. So it comes out to be 1 inch of space between, giving more than enough space for the inserts to so that the embellishments on top, and see it opens up like this, the embellishments on the front wouldn't be too crunched up, if that makes sense. Because on all of them, all the covers, some of them are pretty plain, but you know. Now I will tell you that tying the insert helped, because then everything wasn't gaping. So that meant gives it even more space. Alrighty, so after I determined what size I needed my panels to be, I went to my stack of cardstock. And these literally are the backs from those Dollar Tree albums that I get. Any type of primary paper, the construction paper, or whatever. I just save this because this is some good cardstock. And so I cut 2 5x9 pieces and 1 7x9 piece. All right, I wanted the hinge to be sturdy. So I grabbed up, and for whatever reason, we got gazillions of these in the office, and we're shutting the office down, and so instead of tossing them, I'm trying to use as much of the supplies. So this is that Tyvek, very sturdy. This is just a priority mail envelope from the news. Please do not go to your post office and grab these so that you can do your crafting. I just happen to have them, so therefore they are junk journals, right? So I cut strips of this to create the hinges. And so I glued the Tyvek in between, so that way I'm not worried about these hinges, the sides, coming apart. They've got Tyvek on both sides. I'm not worried about them at all. And after I put the Tyvek on and I had a hinge, then I just covered the whole thing in some brown craft paper. And I just did that just for sturdiness. It also gives it a smooth surface because the card stocks were different thicknesses. And so this just gave a kind of a plain surface to work on top of. And then I knew I wanted something neutral because I wanted the colors of the inserts to pop. And so that's when I went to this tablet. Again, I refuse to buy anything to make, I can't buy anything. I had too much stuff. I can't buy another thing. And so I went to the tablet and I just went through, and again, I had used some of the pages for the blue insert, but I just went through and looked for anything that was kind of neutral. And so there was that one, you know, the keys were kind of neutral, but I settled on this one that has, and you can kind of see it's got writing and music notes, and the colors were in cream and black, super neutral. And so I covered the entire backside with this one page, and then on the inside I used another fairly neutral one that's also creams and blacks. And then it was just a matter of figuring out, I punched the holes using my my Big Bite, the big one, and I put the 6 holes at the bottom and 6 holes at the top, and I did measure to make sure they would line up. I have 2 here because originally I was going to run a satin piece of lace through, and decided I liked the idea. This stash lace is stretchy, so it is perfect for this. So then it was just a matter of decorating, and I had this one piece here that is on the netting, so it's like one huge applique piece. Let me see if you can see that. And so I glued it. It's glued from the top here to there. And then I just used stash laces to kind of encase the other. And then just went out, and I did have to buy, I will admit, I went out, I had to have the closed corners. I had some really pretty filigrees, but I really wanted the corners closed because of all of the laces. So that way it looks finished. Oh, I don't know what I'm showing y'all here. So this way it looks finished on the inside. I wanted that to be closed and to help close in and hold down the laces. I did put a little bit of glossy accents too, so I know that they're not going anywhere. Okay, so I hope that helps. Again, super simple. I figured out the dimensions of the insert, the actual pages, and then what the cover was, how much overlap I wanted around. And once I determined that a 5x9 side would work and a 7x9 back would work, I then set eyelets, 6 eyelets, and threaded them to make the traveler's notebook holder elastic, and then adorned it. So there you have it. It's a traveler's notebook case with my rainbow inserts. Ooh, it looks so pretty. There we go, YouTube. If you have any questions, hit me up. Just leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer. Tutorial, I mean, literally I have 15 minutes. I'm having to use my phone. So at some point in time in life, I will get an actual camera, a movie camera, so that way I can do longer videos, because I'd love to show you. I mean, for me, this was what was fun, was figuring out the case. This was creatively fun, but this was structurally fun. So I hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hope you have a great weekend. Do something crafty. Please tell me what you think. Any suggestions for the future? I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to be making. This has been definitely a project of love. I know when I got my design team, when I got my package from Jennifer, I told her what I was going to do, and she's like, I want to see how you do that. So, hey, Jen, got it done, girl. See you soon. Everybody take care. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.